On a crisp January morning in 2023, Anna Myers, a 28-year-old waitress working at a serene Los Angeles diner, was abruptly dismissed for an act of kindness. She had gone out of her way to assist a customer, initially an unfamiliar man, until the renowned actor Keanu Reeves removed his baseball cap and offered her a sincere, thankful smile. Anna hadn't given it much thought. Keanu had visited the diner late one night, visibly tired and burdened. As she was finishing her shift, she noticed his wallet slipped under his table. Without a second thought, she retrieved it and rushed into the chilly night to return it before he left. "Sir, you left this behind," she called out, just as he was opening the door of a modest black sedan. Keanu looked surprised, and for a brief moment, Anna caught a glimpse of relief, gratitude, and something else she couldn't quite identify in his eyes. "Thank you," he whispered, hesitating before adding, "You didn't even glance inside, did you?" Anna shook her head, slightly puzzled. "Why would I?" She responded with a chuckle. The following morning, everything changed when her manager discovered what she had done. "You went outside the diner during your shift for some random customer," he scolded, not allowing her to explain. "We can't have such negligence here, Anna." "I'm sorry, but you're fired." Stunned and heartbroken, Anna tried to defend herself, but her pleas were ignored. With tears in her eyes, she gathered her belongings and left the diner, clutching a small box of her personal items. The next day, as she sat in her cramped apartment worrying about paying rent, news broke that Keanu Reeves had made an announcement that would not only impact his life, but also profoundly affect Anna's in ways she never anticipated. It wasn't a scandal or a new movie. It was a touching story about an act of kindness that reminded him why humanity is still worth believing in. In an honest interview, he said, "Someone treated me like a human being when I needed it most." Anna watched in disbelief as Keanu spoke about her. But what he revealed next left her frozen, tears streaming down her face. Keanu's voice was calm yet vulnerable, something Anna hadn't expected. He continued, "That night changed me." Anna sat on her worn-out couch, tears quietly falling. She felt as though the universe had guided her towards something she couldn't yet understand. However, as the story progressed, her own struggles resurfaced. She was still unemployed and unsure how to make ends meet. Then came the surprising twist. "I've been searching for her," Keanu said, looking directly into the camera with determination. "I don't know her name, but if she's out there, I just want to say thank you. If there's any way I can repay her kindness, I'll do whatever it takes." Anna's phone buzzed with a message from her friend Lydia. "Anna, isn't this about you? You're all over the news." The realization hit her hard. The small gesture she thought was insignificant had grown into something much larger than she ever imagined. But with this understanding came fear. Keanu Reeves was looking for her. What would she say if he found her? Would he judge her for being broke and jobless? The next morning, bundled in her thrift store coat, Anna stepped into the chilly Los Angeles air to clear her mind. Lost in thought, she didn't notice the black sedan that had just pulled up until a familiar, gentle voice called out, "Excuse me." She turned slowly to find herself face to face with Keanu Reeves. His eyes softened with recognition. "It's you," he whispered. Anna's breath caught. She tried to speak, but no words came out. Keanu offered a small, kind smile. "I've been looking for you," he said. The same kindness she had shown him evident in his expression. Anna finally found her voice. "I didn't think you'd remember me." "How could I forget?" he replied sincerely. "You reminded me of something I thought I had lost." Before Anna could respond, her phone buzzed again with a notification from her landlord about overdue rent and an impending eviction notice. Panic set in, but she quickly concealed it, not wanting Keanu to see her distress. Unbeknownst to her, he had already noticed. "Are you okay?" he asked softly, concern evident in his dark eyes. Anna forced a smile, tears beginning to form. "I'm fine," she lied. Keanu did something that left her speechless. His unwavering gaze pierced through her facade of being okay. He tilted his head slightly, trying to read her emotions. You don't have to share what's wrong, but I can tell something's troubling you, he said gently. The burden Anna had been carrying felt overwhelming. She shook her head, tears threatening to spill. It's nothing, she whispered, her voice breaking. Keanu hesitated before reaching out his hand, unsure if it was appropriate. When Anna didn't flinch, he placed his hand gently on her shoulder. Anna, he said softly, the way he uttered her name filled with significance. Tears streamed down her face. I lost my job, she admitted, her voice shaky. I can't pay my rent. I don't know what I'm going to do. She wrapped her arms around herself, feeling vulnerable. Keanu's expression wasn't one of pity, but of deep understanding. You were fired because of what you did for me, weren't you? She nodded, reluctantly wiping her eyes. It doesn't matter. I'll find a way, Anna replied. Keanu stepped closer, lowering his voice. It does matter. You didn't deserve that. You helped someone in need, and the world needs more people like you. Let me help. Anna quickly shook her head. No, I can't let you. You didn't hesitate to help me. Keanu interrupted firmly yet kindly. You didn't ask for anything. Let me repay you. Before she could object, Keanu reached into his pocket and handed her a folded piece of paper. Hesitant at first, Anna slowly unfolded it to reveal a check with an amount she had never seen before. I can't accept this. It's too much, she murmured. Keanu's smile was bittersweet. It's not about the money, Anna. It's about what you did for me. You gave me something I hadn't felt in years. Hope. This is my way of saying thank you. Anna looked torn between gratitude and guilt. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything, Keanu replied softly. Just promise me one thing. Don't let the world take your kindness away. It's rare and powerful. Don't lose it. A glimmer of hope sparked within Anna, but Keanu hesitated, his expression turning somber. There's something else I need to tell you. Anna's heart raced as she sensed the gravity in his voice. What is it? Keanu's voice was barely above a whisper. That night, I came from the hospital. My sister is battling cancer. I didn't know if she would make it. I felt so lost. But you reminded me that even in the darkest times, there's still light. Anna reached out, her hand gently touching his arm. I'm so sorry. Keanu gave a small, sad smile. You didn't just return my wallet that night. You reminded me that even in the darkest moments, there's still light. Now, I want to be that light for you. Anna realized this wasn't about charity or obligation. It was about two people who had unknowingly saved each other. Standing on the cold, bustling streets of Los Angeles, they felt a profound connection beyond chance or circumstance. As Keanu began to speak, his phone buzzed. He read the message, his face darkening. I have to go, he said regretfully. But this isn't the end, Anna. I promise. Before Anna could respond, Keanu gently squeezed her shoulder and walked away. She stood there, holding the check, her heart filled with gratitude and confusion. She didn't know what the future held, but she sensed this was just the beginning of an unexpected journey. That evening, Anna returned to her small apartment, the check still in her hand. She placed it on the kitchen counter, staring at it as if it might disappear. The amount was enough to change her life and lift her out of her struggles, yet part of her felt it was too sudden. Her phone buzzed again with a message from Lydia. You need to see this now. Anna clicked the link, which led to a video of Keanu speaking outside a hospital to reporters. He's my rock, Keanu said, his voice steady but emotional. My sister has always been the strongest person I know, and while she's fighting this battle, I realize how important it is to have people who remind you to keep going. There's someone out there who reminded me of that someone, and I hope they know how much they've done for me. Anna watched, her heart sinking as she saw Keanu's sister, a frail woman with a kind smile being helped into the hospital. Despite her pale complexion and the toll of her illness, she exuded warmth. Tears streamed down Anna's face. Keanu wasn't just being kind. He was sharing a personal struggle she couldn't fully comprehend. Yet, He had taken the time to find her and improve her life despite his own hardships. The next morning, Anna made a decision. She carefully folded the check and placed it in her bag. This wasn't about charity. It was about a deeper connection she couldn't ignore. She went to the hospital, hesitating at the entrance, unsure if she'd be allowed to see Keanu. Gathering her courage, a nurse approached her with a knowing smile. "You're Anna, aren't you?" Anna blinked, startled. "How did you?" The nurse nodded softly, guiding her inside. They navigated through winding hallways to a quiet room. Through the small window, Anna saw Keanu sitting by his sister's bed, holding her hand and speaking softly. His expression was tender but weighed down by worry. The nurse opened the door slightly, gesturing for Anna to enter. Keanu looked up, surprise evident in his eyes. "Anna," he greeted, rising to his feet. She quickly responded, her voice trembling. "I hope I'm not interrupting." Keanu smiled warmly. "Is this her?" he asked, referring to his sister. Anna nodded, stepping closer. "Hi," she said softly. "I'm Anna. I've heard a lot about you." His sister smiled despite her exhaustion. "Thank you for taking care of my brother. He needs people like you." Anna glanced at Keanu, her heart aching at the vulnerability in his expression. "I didn't do anything special," she admitted, her voice breaking. Keanu shook his head. "You did more than you realize." For the next hour, Anna sat with them, engaging in quiet conversations about everything and nothing. She learned about his sister's passion for painting, her childhood memories with Keanu, and her relentless fight against the illness that had taken so much from her. As the evening progressed, Anna felt a warmth she hadn't experienced in years, a sense of belonging and purpose. As she prepared to leave, Keanu walked her to the hallway, his expression serious. "Anna," he began softly, "I don't think you realize how much you've changed my life." "You've changed mine too," she responded, tears welling in her eyes. He hesitated, weighing his words carefully. "I don't want this to be the last time we see each other." Anna whispered, "It doesn't have to be." They stood there, the weight of unspoken emotions hanging between them. Just as if orchestrated by the universe, Keanu's phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen, his face tightening. "It's the doctor," he said. "I have to go." Anna nodded, stepping back. "Go," she said, her voice steady despite the ache in her heart. As Keanu walked away, he turned back, his gaze meeting hers. "This isn't goodbye," he assured her firmly. Anna stood there, her heart filled with hope and uncertainty as the door closed behind him.